Let's in the room here is Larry Tolley. Mr. Tolley, thanks for being here. If you'd identify yourself, please.
Larry Tolley. I'm here as a parent. First, I would like to thank Senator Stevens and Senator Davis and other people who have introduced this bill and prior bills that attempted to do the same thing. And I also want to point out that my written testimony is the next to the last item in the packet.
Thank you.
And as a parent, what I want to concentrate on is the human cost of the exit exam. And, there's been lots of discussion here about how much it costs school districts in time and money. But, so my son is one of the special education students. He took the test 6 times. And 5 times, of course, was while he was in school, starting his sophomore year. Again and again, he failed. Was told, you're not good enough. He was given accommodations after the first or second time that he failed. So with the accommodations, he was allowed extra time. He stayed until 6 p.m. taking the test. Smacked in the face again, told he failed, wasn't good enough. My son wanted to attend college for, he was invited to a day on campus at the University of Alaska Southeast, went out there and got the T-shirt, decided he wanted to go to college. And through his high school career, we had the opportunity to send him to a summer program given by Landmark College, which is one of 2 colleges in the United States that specializes in children with learning disabilities. So between his sophomore and his senior, between his junior and senior year, he went to that summer program, came back really fired up about college because now he'd seen a college that, that could work for him. Applied for that college, got accepted. So when it came to his senior year, he was taking the exit exam, failing it again. I think he only had 1 item, the math test, left that he hadn't passed in his senior year. But, the fall he failed it, in the spring he failed it. He was accepted into Landmark College. He walked down the aisle with his graduating class and was not given a diploma. Accepted into college but couldn't go. The stress, the humiliation, the pain, it just, it's very hard to describe, but we went through that. My family lived that. After his senior year in high school, we paid for a tutor. He met with a math tutor on a regular basis through the summer. Took the test again in the fall, and sometime around Christmas of that next year, he was told that he'd passed it. But it was too late, to attend Landmark College with the class he expected to be part of. We could have tried to slip him into the spring semester, but, it wasn't clear that we'd hear about the test results in time to make that work. So we ended up going to Landmark College a full year late. And just by the way, that there's, of course, some concern that, people who get out of high school aren't, that can't pass this test may not be good for anything. Well, he worked for the year that he was not able to go to college. And he had a job that required him to be there at 6 a.m. And, he might have called in sick once or twice. But basically, for over a year, he was the guy that got himself up before anyone else in the family, got himself to work, put in a day's work, was dependable, reliable, the kind of person that I think most employers would kill to hire. And, he didn't have a high school diploma because of this test. And but he's still a valuable member of the community. So, another consequence, unintended consequence, because he failed the exit exam, he didn't get a diploma, he couldn't go to college, he was no longer a full-time student. He fell off my insurance policy. My family's insurance was provided by retiree insurance, which doesn't pay for kids if they're not full-time students. So cost me $2,000 in dental bills because he didn't pass the test. And, it's hard for me to say the name of the test without swearing. So anyway, I get kind of excited about this. Another thing I want to point out is, he had a 3.25 GPA in high school. Now, of course he had accommodations. I'm not saying that he, was ready to become a rocket scientist or anything, but, he did his coursework. He did well on it. He worked hard. And, this exit exam was cruel and unusual punishment and, a horrible thing in his life. He would have been here to testify this morning. He happens to be still home on break from college, but, he didn't think he could come without yelling at people or crying, so he's not here. So, for IEP students, for special education students, this is an incredibly stressful hurdle. I have a friend whose testimony is in the back of your packet who said, it's like asking blind kids to take a reading test or, kids in wheelchairs to, do timed speed tests. And it's, very stressful for IEP students. And it seems to me like that having the public education system smack kids around and tell them they're not good enough, it's just the wrong message. The public education system should be about encouragement and, emphasizing kids' possibilities and not about telling them they're not good enough.